Hey, what's going on to all of my Geminis out there? Let's get into it. Shuffle up these cards. I am feeling much better. I just want to say most people get sick from 1 to 2 weeks. I got over the common cold in 5 days. So, as it started on Saturday. But you have the Three of Swords, the Fool, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Hermit, the World, the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. So this is a situation for you, Geminis, where the Three of Swords, the Fool, the Queen of Swords. Okay. You Geminis are learning to get over Three of Swords, the Fool, right? You Geminis are learning to get over a heartbreak. You were in a relationship, getting over that. You're not in it now, but you're learning to forgive yourself of what it is that you think that you did wrong, right? Um, Maybe you stayed in it too long. Maybe you said some things that you shouldn't have, you know. And we all do that type of stuff, mind you. We all say things in a relationship that isn't necessarily the best. That is if we end up staying for a very long time, right? And what it is that we should be apologizing for is our own partaking in it, because we don't have to say those things. We don't have to say those things at all. So it's just that we choose to say those things. But the things that the Queen of Swords represents, even though you are free from those things to a certain extent, you're still caught up in it because you've created this boundary where it's like you now want to make sure that people don't necessarily try that with you in the future. And you're going to be doing yourself a disservice, Gemini, because if you approach that situation, if you approach love like that, because you have to learn to take the dive. You have to learn to actually be in love. Being in love is a risk all on its own. You know, a lot of times people, when they say that they want love, it's a lot of the times it's a lie, because the love that they say that they want somebody to sit on the sofa and just chill, and we just relax and do da 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 da. And that's cool, right? When you have downtime with the person. And that's things that you could do with the person sometimes, but not all the time, right? A relationship is also about growth. So a lot of times too, if you are out here just being only about the conveniences, what you'll have is you'll have a dysfunctional relationship even in that regard, due to the fact that the relationship isn't based upon growth. So it'll still end up growing stale. The Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups now represents this being a situation for you where the Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups is about how you need to understand that what you've got going on is that, so if you're going to be back out here still continuing to date, what you should be worrying about is the relationships that you're building with other people and the value that you are getting from those relationships. If those relationships are dysfunctional, then you should stay away from them. If those relationships actually have some sort of value to them, sorry, my nose was itching. But if those relationships has any kind of value to them, then then you're in a situation where you're doing well. The Ace of Cups represents the kind of attention that you say that you want, that you should actually be able to get. Someone actually being interested in you is what I mean by that. Okay. Because sometimes people take this, and they run with it and they go a little bit too far. They go overboard with it. They think a person that's showing them interest has $1 million, regardless of who it is, right? Has $1 million, is conspicuously, attractive, and it's like you wanna link up with people who are into you as well. You want to really link up with people who are into you. And the thing is that the Hermit and the World represents this being a situation where the Hermit and the World is about, and this is where the situation occurs, because Gemini represents duality, and here you are in a dualistic situation. The dualistic situation that you Geminis are in is the perspective of, do you want to be by yourself, or do you want to be in a relationship with somebody? What what do you want? That's ultimately the question. Because the Hermit represents a person who thinks that they have to go so far as to isolate themselves from others, but that's not necessarily the case. That's why the lamp is there, because the lamp represents them not understanding at this current point in time that the light is in them. Doesn't have to be on the outside. The light should be in them. So although it's a person that's still that's still trying to figure it, although it's a person who's still trying to figure it out, it's not a person who has figured it out that much. They still haven't. Okay, they haven't figured it out to the point where they realize that the light is in them, the value is in them. Okay, and then you have the World. So the World now represents this being a situation for you where, or will you decide that you're fixed already and that you don't need at this current point in time to fix a whole lot? You know that there's things that you need to fix, but you don't think that there's a whole lot for you to fix and that you are okay to date. If I would say, if you are this fragmented, I would say for you to do what? Take a break. Take at least a month off, right? Because it takes 1 week to break a habit, 3 weeks to form a new one, right? 3 plus 1 is 4, right? 4 weeks is what? A month. So I would suggest you taking a month. Okay. You need to learn to understand how to not have that particular person in your life, just like you need to learn how to understand to build functional relationships. So the Eight of Pentacles represents, learn how to work by yourself for a little bit. Don't necessarily go out on a dating pool, but if you must, I'm going to give you some pointers for that. I don't really suggest it, but if you have to, I'm going to give you some pointers for that. So the Eight of Pentacles is, number one, if you're still going to be out here doing that, make sure to pay for your half of, if you're hanging out with people that's going to require some money, make sure to pay your half, because then you won't be so upset when a person may or may not call you or whatever, and like you don't hear from them again, and then you're like, but this person paid for everything, I thought we was having a good time. No, if you pay for everything, or I should say not for everything, but pay for yourself, it alleviates, or it softens the situation, because now it's, you paid for everything that you wanted. So it's not like, it's not like the person, it's not like you think the person likes you because they're paying for all this stuff, and then come to find out that they that they don't actually like you, right? That they essentially ghosted you or they scapegoated you, right? Now they have a problem with you or whatever. The Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, these two cards here represent, again, if you're going to be going out there, also too, go out with multiple people. I don't necessarily suggest hanging out with multiple of them, if you catch my drift. You know what I mean. I don't suggest hanging out with them a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, just get to know them a lot, you know, so that you know what's going on with them, what's going on up underneath the hood, so that way you could really get a better understanding of what to do with them. you know the Knight of Swords now represents, and also too, make sure the people who you're hanging out with want you too. Make sure that this isn't a one-sided thing. Well, what are some good signs? What are some signs for you to be able to know? Well, for you Geminis, you'll be able to know if, number one, the person is asking you questions about yourself, meaning about you Geminis. You'll know if a person is asking questions about you Gemini's sense of humor, right? If they understand your sense of humor, you know, if they don't necessarily respect certain defenses that you put up. Because I was actually having a conversation with a Gemini police officer a while back. Gemini, right? Of course. You can already understand who it is. And I was like, hey, what's up? What's your name? And the police officer told me their name. Oh, da 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 da. I said, oh, okay, that's cool, that's cool. I said, where you come from? Where you come from? Oh, says, and what's your zodiac sign? Up until then, I didn't even know their zodiac sign. And it was a Gemini, so it was so cute. But the Gemini was like, you want to know everything, don't you? And I was like, I just looked for a moment, and I was like, yes. I was just like, yes, I want to know everything. Yes. So what is it? And I could tell that the Gemini, their eyes kind of watered a little bit, you know what I mean? And I can tell, that kind of made them happy, because it was kind of like, wow, like you actually get, you know what I mean? Like you actually get my sense of humor, and kind of like these walls of defenses that I put up. And you actually know which one to actually understand is BS and which one not to cross. And when the person said Gemini, I said, oh, okay. And I was trying to talk to the Gemini cop some more, but end up getting interrupted. Of course, Virgo stuff, of course, but stuff like that, get with somebody who is self-aware. Get with somebody who knows how to see through which are your defenses, and which are the defenses that are made to kind of steer people who are not that bright in the wrong direction, right? But people who are self-aware in the correct direction, if you catch my drift. Make sure that those people are self-aware. You know what I mean? Stop playing with this thing, Gemini. Make sure these people are self-aware. If they're not, like, Gemini is self-aware, Virgo is self-aware, Aquarius is self-aware. You feel me? Pisces, if Pisces gets its stuff together, Pisces is self-aware. You know what I mean? So let's clarify. Let's clarify the the Eight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Two of Pentacles, the Hermit, And last but not least, you have the Five of Wands. So the High Priestess represents, okay, so it seems like you Geminis are going to be all for dating. You're going full speed ahead. Okay. Two of Pentacles, you're not going to give up. You're going to continue to try to get to know other people. Okay, cool. The Hermit, which is what we already have. Try not to get shut down. Try not to get, you know, timid or anything like that. Anxious, you know, because a lot of you Geminis are, you know, a lot of you Geminis are beautiful. Y'all know who I'm talking to, so don't even. But, but just be okay with that. You know what I mean? Just be confident with that, because I know Mercury zodiac signs like Virgo and Gemini don't think that, you know, we're very attractive, even though we might be. I mean, I don't personally see it being a Virgo myself on myself, but you know, it is what it is. But I can speak from a Virgo to a Gemini perspective. Yeah, Geminis are very attractive, you know. And then you have the of Five of Wands, excuse me. The Five of Wands, to clarify, to clarify, the Eight of Pentacles represents, and don't let anybody, you know what I mean, tell you that you're not, waste your time on dates, um, try to get you to pay for everything. Nah, that's hogwash. You know what I mean? That's hogwash. Um, let's clarify the Knight of Swords. So you have the Lovers, Four of Cups, the Star, and the Page of Swords. So the Lovers represents, if it's a situation that doesn't necessarily work out, who cares? If they're wasting your time, move forward. The Four of Cups, um, as long as they're doing their part and they're showing you enthusiasm. Then you have the Star, and then you have the Page of Swords, which represents this being a situation for you where you just keep looking and don't allow people to get you caught up too easily. Always ask them questions. Find out who they are. That's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, my email address as well as uh, my website is in the comment section below, as well as the link to my book, or my books, I should say, is in the comment section below. Trying to get this YouTube channel to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June of 2023. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop the videos, my videos. Peace.